I'm going to talk about this picture in a minute, but first I want to address a video I just deleted a few hours ago. In that video was Neil deGrasse Tyson, and the reason I had to delete it was because in the video was a brief introduction with some words, and from what I understand, those words were actually dishonest, intellectually dishonest. The video was framed as if Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about NASA, but no, actually it was about another entity or group of entities. So I had to delete it, and yes, I have come to believe that NASA uses fisheye lenses, so the curve that people see is actually a fake one. And I believe there are many demonstrations of that. However, in the video that I had to delete, whoever originally made the video was being intellectually dishonest, as far as I can tell. So I went ahead and took it down. And it just shows another reason why sometimes I take my time before I post anything. I want to make sure I'm on my game. Okay, I'm on my A game. And so, and by that I mean that whatever I'm putting out there is as honest as possible, and there's enough time for me to double check everything and all this stuff. So that's another reason why I just feel like I just need a lot of time, because I want to make sure I'm honest about what I do. So anyway, I was going to write something in the title and in the description to point out that intellectual dishonesty, but it just seemed to me that it would probably confuse some people, so I took it down. But the fisheye lens issue is a real issue, and if you're open to it, I'd encourage you to look into it. A lot of times when and actually all the time, when we see that curve, that's actually from a fisheye lens. And other times it's just cartoons, CGI drawings or whatever. It's not real. Yeah, debate me if you want. Look into it. Put on your big boy britches and look into it. Alright, now let's move on to this picture here. I'm going to start talking about glow now, and the butterfly way, and I'm going to put it all together. But guess what? You get it how I give it, okay? I have to say things a certain way, and we're going to start with this picture, okay? And I already made another video. It's an hour long, okay? And it's just the very beginning, okay? If you want to wait till this information is all nice and pretty, the reality is you may never get it, okay? You may never get it from me. Sometimes you have to lay everything out, and it can be made neat and everything later. The key is get it out there, okay? So if you want it, this how you gonna get it. If this was a job, a full-time job, even a part-time job, then I could afford the time to make everything neat. But as it stands, I don't have that luxury. So you are getting the rough drafts of it. And if you want to, you can make it neat, nice and neat and everything. But at the same time, I think it's good that you're getting it like I'm about to deliver it. Okay, so we're just going to start with the very beginning here. And then there's a hour-long video. I'm going to listen to it again before I put it out there, because I just want to make sure of some things. See if I need to cut anything out, but likely there won't be a lot of cutting stuff out or editing when it comes to this. If you want to hear about glow, the butterfly way, and all this stuff, you just gonna get it raw. So you can just let the stuff play while you're taking care of your business, living your life, I don't know, working out, whatever, okay? Going to bed. Yes, I used to have a sales job. Well, a struggling sales business, we'll put it that way. And I was one time on a sales call with this lady, and I was trying to sell her on a product. The lady went to sleep on me while I was talking to her. And I have been told my voice can put people to sleep. Sometimes it can wake them up now. Sometimes it can wake them up. But sometimes it can put people to sleep. So, hey, live your life. Do what you got to do. But this is how you're going to get the information. So you can just let it play while you're going about your business. But, hey, this is it. This is it. Okay? And in the end, it may turn out that how I'm delivering this information was actually the best way to deliver it all along. First, let's talk about the lady I'm with. I had to take a picture with this lady. I had to bug her. I had to bother her for a picture. This was the time I went to one of her events. This was the lady who convinced me that I could grow taller in my 30s. This is Sally Fallon. Okay, I went to one of her events, had a chance to hear her speak, and at the event there was actually a meal that we all ate together, everyone who was there. Oh, and it was delicious. Woo-wee! It was good. Doggone it, it was good. And everything was based on the principles of the Weston A. Price, we'll just say nourishing traditions, okay? Everything was based on nourishing traditions, okay? And I remember eating that food, and I was thinking, man, if I'm gonna eat like this, I got to be rich, okay? I gotta be rich. Or in a rich circumstance. Hey. We'll keep it moving, because that's a whole nother deal. But anyway, it was a good experience. Took a picture with her. She's the one who started it. She started this. She started it. And she didn't even, she doesn't know she started it to this day, quite likely. She doesn't know she started it. I watched one of her videos on YouTube. Someone told me I needed to watch one of her videos. And I watched it. And one of the reasons she said it was because she knew that I was into organic food and stuff like that, and she said I needed to check it out, and I checked it out, and it blew me away. And yeah, fast forward, I went to one of her events. And this book that you see that I'm holding, the title, it says it, you can see it right there. It says the Nourishing Traditions Book of Baby and Child Care. Okay. Why would I have a book like that? Why would I want a book like that? Well, hey, sometimes it's just that simple. Babies grow well. What do babies eat? Okay. What do they do? You ever heard of the saying, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And so, there's a question. Do we stop growing? I don't even feel like going there right now, but I think you get what I'm saying. I mean, when we get a certain age, we stop doing what babies do. Okay? Do we stop doing what babies do because we stop growing? Or do we stop growing because we stop doing what babies do? There may be a fine line between that. And actually, the line may be dotted. It may be a dotted line. Maybe they each spill over into the other a little bit. But it may not be a fine line, but a dotted one. So, I believe one can discover the spaces between the dots of that line and exploit them. You can understand what I mean. Do we stop growing because we stop doing what babies do? Or do we stop doing what babies do because we stop growing? Okay? I think it's a dotted line between those two things. And there are some things to be capitalized upon and studied until mastery is achieved. Studied and practiced. Not just studied, but studied and practiced until mastery is achieved. So, anyway, it's a lot to talk about. It's so much. But at any rate, y'all, if y'all ain't figured out that I ain't playing with this. This ain't. I ain't coming on here to just a lot of folk. If you ain't figured out that I'm a real one, if you ain't figured that out, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You just gonna be out. You just gonna be out of touch. That's it. You just gonna be out of touch. That's just how it's gonna be. Okay. You might be wondering when I took this picture, when this picture was taken. I ain't telling you. Not right now, I ain't telling you. I ain't saying nothing. But anyway, this is a real picture. It's nothing fake about it. This actually happened. Okay? And what else do I want to say about this? Just for the record, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. I'm gonna say it. I gotta say it. I gotta say it out of respect for this woman here. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna say two things. First of all, the type of diet that she promotes, there are a lot of haters of it. Because there are those who hate humanity. There are people out there who hate humanity. And through their hate of humanity, they get people to promote things like be a vegetarian. Or they may say things like don't eat certain types of meat, or they may say stay away from fats and things of this nature. And it's really because they are being manipulated by people who hate humanity. And so, they hate humankind. And so they may want to say that what Sally Fallon promotes is unhealthy. And they may even talk about her appearance. Well, I happen to think she's a pretty lady. Okay? First of all, I happen to think she's actually a nice looking woman. Okay? First of all. She's married. Okay? No, I'm just saying she's a nice looking woman. I know how to say that without going to dark places. Okay? And that's not why I took a picture with her. I didn't take a picture with her because I'm over here thinking a certain... No. She probably didn't even want to take the picture with me. I don't think she wanted to take the picture with me. I see her face. She not... I don't think she really looking at the camera. It could be a reason for that. But she was... at least at the time I took the picture, she was a married woman. So she may not have wanted to look like, hey, I'm not trying to be all hugged up with this dude. That's him with his arm around me. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here for an event. I'm speaking, and this dude over, I don't even know this dude. He want to put his arms around me and stuff like that. I ain't got nothing to do with that, so I'm not going to even look at the camera and say, that's probably what's going on. But just for the record, I think she's a nice looking woman. But I wasn't thinking that at the time. I'm just thinking of it now. I'm looking at her picture. I say, oh, she's a nice looking woman. Yeah, she's a nice looking woman. Now, maybe I'm saying that now because I'm, well, I'm not going to say why I'm saying it because that might give away some things. But that's all I want to say about it. I don't like it when folk be talking bad about folk, and I feel the opposite way. And I don't say nothing. Sometimes people be talking bad about somebody, and I want to write a comment. And a lot of times I don't write a comment. But I'm making my comment now. I think she's a nice looking woman. I don't care what folks say. I think she's a nice looking woman. Okay, now with that being said, she ain't the reason I'm fat in this picture. I know some bloke. B-L-O-K-E. I think that's the right spelling of it. Some bloke. is probably going to say, Sally Fallon's diet sucked. Look, it made him fat. Look, I was fat before I even knew this woman. That's why an acquaintance of mine directed me to the video. She said, hey, fat boy, you trying to lose some weight? Look. There's this Sally Fallon video I want you to see. It opens up a whole new world. And I watched the video, and true enough, a whole new world was opened up to me. Yeah. Now some may say, well, if her principles are so good, why were you fat after you learned her principles? And to that I would say, make up something. Make up something in your own mind. Because that's the answer you'd be most happy with anyway. That's the answer you'd be most comfortable with anyway. Just make up something in your mind. Because what I say won't matter. I just want to make it clear, Sally Fallon ain't got nothing to do with it. Nourishing, traditions, the Western A Price way, that stuff works. It's great. And some people out there, they love to highlight people who have followed her principles, or so-called follow her principles, and they die. They die. Well, me, I'm not convinced that it was a natural death a lot of times. Yeah, people don't know how the world works, the powers at play, how great their resources are, and how intricate their knowledge is of you and I. Particularly if they want to target someone. But even if they're not targeting you, there is great access to you. Again, which is why I encapsulate what I do in the ministry, because I know I need God. If I'm going to be speaking truths, I'm going to need God's protection. And I look at certain people who've died, not just people who have died following the principles of nourishing traditions or Western A Price, not those who have died doing those things. I also look at the people who have died, who have discovered the cure for AIDS. I look at how they died, the things behind it. I look at certain political leaders who were against the sticky poke, who were assassinated. I look at those deaths. I look at a lot of dark things that perhaps most people don't even have the wherewithal to face. But anyway, I look at it, and I'm gonna be real with you. I notice a few things. I'm not saying this is in every case, and what I'm about to say, it may sound really, really controversial, but I'm just, man, it feels weird saying it, but I'm not saying I'm not saying worshiping God worshiping the only true God will keep one from harm. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But yes, I do get curious as to different ones who have died, and I do wonder if they had divine protection. So I look into their religion, and that sounds strange, don't it? That sounds strange. I know it do. Some may even see it as hate speech. I don't intend for this to be hate speech. I don't know how certain people out there may label this, but I look at affiliations, who are they affiliated with, who did they work for, maybe who were their friends at the time, had they made any new friends, where did they meet their new friends, what was going on, where did they die, where did they die. And I see patterns. And some and one thing I have looked at, quite frankly, is, did they worship the invisible God, or did they bow down to idols? Literally, were they idol worshippers? And I do look at that, and I wonder if one or the other improves the mortality rate or doesn't improve the mortality rate. If you can understand what I'm saying. If there's an average, I look at the numbers. I mean, I haven't done this in great detail, but when I just hear those stories, I wonder, because when one knows what is at play here, they come to understand that literally divine protection is necessary. Absolutely necessary. And if you ain't praying for you, you need somebody out there praying for you. If you want to do certain things and do them in a certain way. And it seems that the only other way to be protected while doing these things, there's like two other ways to be protected. Okay, one way. Okay, look. So there's three ways to be protected. Three main ways to be protected. There may be others, but there are three main ways to be protected. One, ask God for protection. Ask the only true God for protection in Jesus' name, and be serious about it. And try your best to walk in wisdom according to His principles of wisdom, and ask Him to make up for wherever you fall off. And just hope He's merciful enough to keep you protected. Okay? The other way is if you just an ignoramus and don't know nothing, but somehow you fit in with God's purpose and you're oblivious to it, you have no idea, and God protects you anyway because He's using you for something. And you just haven't come to realize it yet. And the third way to get protection is to sign up with the enemy. And that's always a bad deal. Okay? There may be protection, but in the end, it comes back to bite you. So those are three main ways that I can think of right now. But anyway, I know I said all this. I bet a few people stopped listening to the video at this point. But hey, this is the reality in which we live. It's good that more and more people are starting, just now beginning to understand the nature of the world and the powers that be. But for most, it's beyond their own comprehension or understanding. It's far beyond. I mean, but anyway, I believe in the principles of nourishing traditions, and when people say they, talk about people who have died or whatever, I'm not quick to believe that. I believe they could have been killed. I also and I know some ways that it can happen that no one ever talks about. But anyway, these are heavy things. But anyway, the butterfly way. Yeah, gotta talk about that. And